Greetings and salutations. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Eric Moss. I'm a personal trainer, motivational speaker, and modern day performing strongman. If you're unfamiliar with what a modern day performing strongman is, picture the feats of strength shows that the greats like the mighty Adam and Alexander Zas would do. I do a similar thing, but with a modern day twist. Some of the feats of strength that I've performed live are things like bending steel bars, breaking chains, rolling up frying pans, twisting horseshoes, driving nails to wooden boards by hand, and even holding back a high-performance motorcycle taking off at full throttle. Now, being a modern-day performing strongman and the fact that there's not a whole lot of us around these days, although there's a couple of us, I wanted to start a YouTube series. Knowing that you guys had questions for me, sorry about that. I started a YouTube series called Ask Eric Moss, where I would invite you to ask me a question by dropping it in the comments below. And when you do that, I get back to you with your very own custom video. Pretty cool, right? So this question comes from Rockamus Prime. And they said, how much time do you take off, if any, to peak before a performance? Also, do you take off any time before starting a training cycle, or is it year-round? Thank you for asking that. So one of the things is I don't really peak for a show. And when I say that, I'm talking about like the way powerlifters would technically do like a 12-week build up to reach a peak and surpass their previous max in order to peak on the given day of a show or of a competition. Sorry, I'm like, why can't, I guess it's still early and I'm not all the way through my coffee yet. My shows tend to be scattered throughout the year. Like as an example, I had a show in February, I had a show in March, and then right now is April, and I have 2 shows, and then like 3 days later, I have to fly out for a show in Scottsdale. That is a very difficult thing to try to peak for. What I do instead is I try to do a slow and steady, gradual buildup. Now, to answer your question, do I take time off before a show? Yeah, but it kind of depends on what I've got going on training-wise. Currently, I'll train exercises like Turkish get-ups, bench pressing, weighted chin-ups, phone book isometrics, grip strength on a Monday and on a Thursday, and I'll train overhead pressing, like half kneeling pressing, isometrics of brace bend, and some arm work on a Tuesday and Thursday. And then I'll do things like squat. Oh, I'm also doing squats on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And I'll do squats on Wednesday, as well as like some single leg work and stuff like that. So I try to have it so that I at least have my upper body sessions and lower body sessions within the week. Now, if I can't get all 3 of them, then I'll just take off that week. Or if I'm feeling kind of tired and run down a little bit, maybe I'll take some time off to just recover a bit before a show. It also kind of depends on how many shows I'm running. And it also depends on my work schedule. So like I've got a personal training studio, and that keeps me extremely busy, which is why this question that you asked me way back in August, I'm just getting to now. So when I'm also doing a show, there's prep work, as you've seen in the videos, like packing stuff up, making sure I've got adequate supplies. And it complicates things if I have to fly out for a show, because then I got to make sure I've got the airline tickets. I got to make sure everything is okay with the flight. I got to make sure that the accommodations are okay, and that I can make sure that I can get my materials there in time. There was a second part of that question. What was it? Also, do you take off any time before restarting a training cycle, or is it year-round? So it kind of depends on like what I've got going on. So as an example of like a linear progression, I might start, if I've hit what I think is a wall, there's a couple ways of going about it. I can either start way back and try to regain momentum, or I can dial back something and earn it back with volume. Or if I'm just sick of an exercise, I'll just switch it out for something else. I kind of go by feel. The way I look at it is like if I was working with a personal training client, if I was like looking at their stuff, is I've looked at their past and I think, what is going to be the best way to achieve a result? Sometimes it means completely starting from scratch. Sometimes it means just altering something. Sometimes if they're getting sick of an exercise, I'll just switch it to something else, just like I would myself. Because I've said this before, as important as it is to stick with the basics, there's also something to be said for enthusiasm for training. And I am in this for the long haul. And I'm also always adding to my quiver and learning and experimenting and things like that. But I hope that answers your question. If you have any additional questions and you need follow-up, drop it in the comments below. If anybody else has any questions, drop it in the comments below, and I'll try to get back to you with your very own custom video just for you. And you know how this YouTube thing works. If you like the video, let me know by hitting that like button. If you want to see more of this sort of thing and you want to see the chronicles from my shows, subscribe to the channel. If anybody if you think anybody should see this, please share it with them. But in the meantime, that's it for today. Please stay happy, healthy, and strong. Eric Moss, over and out.